This is the raw, real, uncut story of the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, which hit North Carolina earlier this year. This is coming directly from the people who had to survive the storm, or those that are there volunteering and helping clean up the aftermath. These interviews are from a little town called Pensacola, where there was a camp of volunteers set up. These interviews are from 1 to 2 months after the storm had happened. This is the boots on the ground perspective of those that are there living it. We all have a different perspective, and we all saw different things. If you want my perspective, you can go back to video number 186 on this YouTube channel. As far as these interviews go, I wanted to tell the whole in-depth story. These interviews are one of the hardest things that I've ever had to do. I've really struggled hard with posting these videos, but the world needs to know what's really happening out there and what these poor people have had to go through. This isn't about politics or views or anything like that. This is simply about telling the story firsthand and in depth. All I'm trying to do is figure out the best way to help these people by any means possible. I ask everyone to please stay positive and to not post negative comments about these brave people who are telling their stories. Seeing all the destruction was one of the hardest things I've ever had to witness. But at the same time, watching everyone come from all over the country with different backgrounds and different beliefs and all working together to help their fellow human was one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. I'm starting to realize these same problems are being encountered in every natural disaster. Please, let's work together to try and find solutions that will help these people. Thanks, everyone. So I'm trying to do all these interviews in order, and this is just a replay of the first 3 interviews I did while I was there. These randomly took place over the first 2 weeks I was there. I did post these 3 videos before, but I'm trying to just kind of cluster everything up and make it a little more easy to keep up with. All the interviews after this are all previously unreleased. The first interview I did was with a 3rd grade school teacher who had brought blankets out to donate that were made by her 3rd grade students, and it is just a beautiful, heartwarming story. And the second interview I did was with Heiko, a gentleman who lived there and was just doing everything he could to help his entire community. He was an extremely hard worker, and he just worked relentlessly, nonstop, to help all the people around him. It was an honor to work beside him and to be able to help. He was an infinite wealth of knowledge and really just knew what he was doing and was an extremely hard worker and just lived nonstop helping everybody in the community. And the last interview was with a gentleman who was just kind of visiting in the area and got caught in the storm. And he had an awesome setup with his truck, and I really enjoyed seeing the setup of his truck and being able to hear his story as well. And I appreciate him for all his work that he helped put in. He stayed there and just helped piece back together the community as well. And it was just a beautiful thing watching everybody come together and work together. So these were the first 3 interviews I did while I was out there. And I can't tell all these people how much I appreciate them for taking the time to talk to me and for sharing their stories. Thank you all very much. All right, so I'm doing an interview here with a kind young lady who brought a bunch of blankets. And her, well, you go ahead. I'm not going to tell your story. What was your name? What was your name, dear?
My name is Sarah.
Sarah.
Yeah.
So it's a pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah. So I am a 3rd grade school teacher back in the lovely state of Minnesota.
Awesome.
My 3rd graders and I were tracking Hurricane Helene from when it formed to when it hit and after. So they've seen the damage, they've seen what people have gone through, and it really affected us, even though it's not in our backyard. So I took the time to kind of teach them that, you know, if it's not happening in your backyard doesn't mean it's not happening at all. There's people that need things, and we need to support our community even if it's not within a mile of us. So we spent the last 2 weeks tying these blankets together. We have some lovely notes written by my 3rd graders as well.
Aww.
And they put their hearts and souls into these blankets, knowing that people are going to enjoy them and keep using them to make themselves nice and warm and toasty when it gets cold out there.
That is the most beautiful thing ever. You're teaching your kids such good morals and such good heart, and it's just, thank you so much.
Well,
that's a beautiful
it's
thing.
My job as an educator, not just to teach curriculum, but to teach love and care.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Do you care if I look at some of the blankets?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, this is so amazing. So they all built these with their little hands?
With their little 3rd grade
Oh,
hands,
their little 3rd grade hands. Oh.
I got a couple of my favorite ones out here. I really like this bumblebee
Aww.
one. I have a cow one up there as well. I have this cow one. I'm a lover of cows. We call them moo cows back at school. I got a couple funny ones too. I think here's this, and I'll grab this.
See, I'm 43 years old and I still don't know how to make a blanket. So yeah, you've already got them more advanced than me. Oh, that's a fun one.
This one's pretty
Oh,
cute.
that's so
Burgers,
cool.
hot dogs, fries, and donuts.
Oh, and they're gonna brighten people's days, knowing that
sure
it was made
have.
by third graders with their own little hands, and just it's beautiful.
It's great to just, you know, I don't know anybody in this area, but
Right.
it doesn't matter if you know a person or not. If you know that they're in need and you know that they're struggling, help. I mean, anything helps. Even like a short message to someone who's posted about it. You know, pray for them. Try and give them as much of support as you can. I mean, you don't have to go all out and, you know, drive all the way down like I did. But anything that helps. You know, people really need that support and uplifting spirit from a person who might not be there but wants to make a difference. It helps. I've seen it already today in the faces of people that have come through. Their faces when they come in, it just looks like they've been through so much. And when they get these blankets, it reminds me why we did it. Their faces light up. They get so excited. They're proud to have something that's nice, and we're just trying to make a little bit of a difference. That's all.
It's such a beautiful story, and it's such a kind, caring thing. And thank you so much for doing all that you're doing. Thank you. That is so beautiful. And I appreciate your time.
Of course, absolutely.
And just I thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Of course, God bless you.
I appreciate the interview. Thank you. I'm interviewing. What was your name, sir?
Heiko Barron.
Heiko. Yes, sir. I'm interviewing Heiko. He has a house up here on the mountain in Pensacola still.
This is backside of Winter Star Mountain, and it's Pensacola Township of Pensacola in the I would call it city of Burnsville, but
right.
Burnsville.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
In Yancey County.
Yes, sir. And I know you've had to witness a lot, and you've had to go through a lot, and I'm so sorry you've had to go through all this, man.
It's just part of it.
Yeah.
It's just, it's just part of living here. Just like when you live at the coast, there's a chance a hurricane's going to come.
Right.
And I've lived at the coast for probably about 15 years, so I went through a lot of hurricanes. And when Sue and I moved up here, we knew it wouldn't be blue skies and sunshine every day, so we prepared. Some people called us preppers. I just was being smart,
I think so too. I'm a prepper as well, yeah.
I'm an Eagle Scout, and the motto is be prepared, and we pretty much were.
Yeah.
I mean, food, water, generators,
So you're ready for this, and then
yeah.
Well, to an extent, I mean, you can't be ready for this.
As much as you can be.
Yeah.
As much as you can be. We really expected things nationwide to have a shit storm, but sorry.
No, it's all right. I don't care. I cuss on it all the time. No worries, man.
But we just got hammered locally. I know there's some really weird things that happened with the storm that normally don't happen, but that's for other people and another day to figure out. We're just dealing with it and picking up the pieces.
Yeah.
That's one thing I love about this area, especially in Yancey County and the people of Appalachia, is we're not going to wait for the government to fix things for us. If it's broken, we fix it. If it needs, something needs doing, we do it. We're not going to sit there with our hand open and say, hey, Mr. President, help us. We'll appreciate the help, appreciate everything, and another thing I want to say is the outpouring of donations to this area, and people such as yourself. You came from Missouri. I've talked to people from Michigan, from Oregon. We're just everywhere.
Yeah.
They're just,
It's a beautiful thing, and everybody just seems to have dug in and just dug in and pushed back.
Yeah. And a lot of people want to heap praises, and, the biblical concept of the body of Christ is really what you're seeing in action right here. Because the left foot doesn't praise the right foot because it took a step. Well, it took a step because that's what the right foot does.
Right.
The left hand doesn't lift up the right hand for praises because it was able to pick up a cup of coffee. No, because that's what the right hand does. Just like me, I'm a builder. This is what I do. I'm operating in my spiritual gifts of service and giving, and this was not work for me. This is like breathing to me.
Wow.
Is it physically demanding? Absolutely. Now, some of the neighbors that came and helped, they're not used to this stuff, and it was work for them. But that's okay. You know, Mark across the creek here, he's an engineer. He's been around here looking at other bridges and houses and stuff like that. You know, that's his gift.
Right.
You know, your gift is hard work and construction, and you're good at it. You sleep great at night, I'm sure.
I did. I slept phenomenal last night.
Exactly.
I did. Yeah.
So, you know,
Yep.
and that's what Jesus meant when he talked about, you know, he's the head and we're the body. You know, we all, you know, and no part of the body is of less value and less worth than the other part.
Yeah.
So,
It's a beautiful thing to just witness everybody coming together and just working together as a team, and just all strangers and all chaos and just making things happen. It's a beautiful
absolutely.
thing.
And
it really
honestly,
is.
as a believer in Christ, I feel honored, because the way I look at this storm and most tragedies that happen in life is that that's God's way of honoring us as individuals, as his children, to allow us to see what we really believe. Because it's real easy with blue skies and sunshine to, you know, praise God and not have faith and all that. But when you're under pressure, under duress,
Right.
are you still praising God? You know, are you still walking with a smile on your face and helping others? Again, look at yourself. You know, you're the example.
Yeah, I'm just trying to help out, and I'm just doing all I can, because I know you guys are just in distress here, and I'm looking at what you have done, and I want to show everybody what he's done. Look at what this man has done. He has this bridge that fell in front of his house here, and he has went down there and got it all pinned up. I want to include some pictures and stuff. How long do you think you've been working on this?
We started Saturday at 10, Saturday morning.
Saturday?
Yeah. And we finished yesterday at 3.
Wow.
And then fixed pizza.
How much did you have to bring it up?
We brought, the concrete abutment was down on the ground, so there it came up 2 feet, and here like 3.5, 4 feet.
Wow. And you said you think that bridge weighs about 40?
Probably about 40 ton.
40 ton? Because you had 50 ton jacks on it,
Yeah,
or
one
whatever.
50-ton jack would lift the whole thing, but it had to work.
And so you've done this quite a bit before, and lifting houses and stuff, or you said?
I level houses around here that you know, that
Right.
need leveling, and you know, there's the ton. I mean, there's the jacks, and
Wow. Yeah, it's quite the adventure. Getting ready to pour a bunch of concrete in there and try and get this road going back to open right now. But it's just, this is literally right in your front yard, and you're just doing it yourself and trying to help the neighborhood. And so that's
definitely our front yard.
yeah, and it's just trying to get hands to come help do this. So yeah, it's just a bunch of work, and there's a little bit of rain coming, so we're trying to decide if we want to do concrete before. There was 80. What do we have up here? 5.5 pallets of.
5.5 pallets. It's about 5 cubic yards.
Yeah.
So,
And just a bunch of volunteer Marines came up here yesterday.
9
20.
Marines came up, and they brought it up here half a pallet at a time in the back of the truck. And,
Right. Yeah.
You know, but the key thing to get out of this is to, I am no one of any consequence. Nobody here is of any consequence. We're just all part of a body,
Right.
and we're doing what needs doing.
Right.
That's it.
Is there anything that you think that people could do to help? That would, I know it's hard. Just from my point of view too, you know, it's always hard asking for help. I'm not like that, but you guys need help, man. And is there anything that people, anybody seeing this could do to help you guys?
I mean, this piece of equipment right here is a lifesaver to me. I bought that used. It was beat up, terrible, but hats off to John Deere, because I tell you what, this is a tough machine.
Right.
It's most of the linkages are gone on it, and it rattles and it squeaks, but this does my heavy lifting.
Right.
Because I bought this thing when I was 60, so 5 years ago.
Right.
And because I knew as I get older, I can't pick up boulders anymore.
Right.
I just, so much I physically can't do anymore.
Right.
So I get equipment to do it. Just, you know, work
Right.
smarter than harder.
Right.
When I was your age, pick her up.
Don't let me fool you. I've slowed down a lot. I'm 43 now, but in my 20s, I was definitely a lot. 20s and 30s. I've tried to be a little smarter, not harder
Yeah.
now.
Be smarter earlier, because
Right.
when I was in my 20s, I was 6'3",
Right.
and now I'm barely 6 foot.
How's that?
Just compression of your discs and
Wow.
yeah.
Lifting all that weight.
Physical
Wow,
work.
that's crazy.
That's the result of hard physical labor. Yeah.
Oh man.
But so be smart. Be smart with your body.
Yeah.
Because it's the only one you got.
Right. Right. Well, yeah. Is there anything else that any message or anything you want to try and tell people out there?
Just thank you to everybody that has helped. Thank you to everybody that has come and donated and just everything.
Yeah.
And just remember, this is not the last storm.
Yeah.
You know, there's going to be more storms. There's more hurricanes and tornadoes, but
Yeah.
you know, we have to be resilient
Right.
because it ain't stopping.
Yeah. Mentioning which, we got one coming tonight, possibly. So it's going to be the first
Oh,
one.
really? Another one?
Or well, that's what you said, right? There's a rain,
that
little bit of rain
little
coming.
front coming
Yeah,
through.
yeah.
Yeah, but I think there's a tropical storm or hurricane coming in the Gulf too, and who
Oh,
knows where
no.
that's going to go.
Oh man.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, we'll be all right. We've shown to push back, which just it's a lot to take in from coming here, and I know it's a lot for you too. So I'm sorry you've had to witness, and I'm glad I could help in any way, shape, or form. And it seems like we just more than anything, we just need helpers to try and come out here,
Yeah.
and the hands-on, it seems like, is essential. Just from what I'm seeing around town, you know, I mean, a lot of people need a lot of help. So
Josh, just remember Romans 8:28. All things work together for good for those who are, you know, children of God, loved by God, and called for this purpose. And paraphrasing that, nothing will enter the life of a child of God unless it first pass through His will, and it is allowed by Him. Because if He knew this storm was coming, which He did, and it was not part of His will, and He wouldn't allow it, it wouldn't have hit here. So it's okay.
Right.
Just remember Romans 8:28. That's my main primary verse I operate from, because
but you just let it go and just do what you can.
yeah,
Yeah.
like water off a duck's back. On the surface, I'm smooth. Underneath, my feet are going 1,000 miles an hour.
Well, man, you got me fooled. You just seem calm and cool under pressure, and the thought of lifting up that bridge and doing that is just absolutely amazing to me. And everything you're doing is amazing to me. And man, it's a pleasure meeting you and talking to you.
It's
And
my pleasure.
I cannot.
You're the hero.
No way. No.
Yes,
No,
you
no.
and people like you. Absolutely. We live
yeah.
here.
No.
You know, this is our responsibility. This is not yours. You choose to be here.
Oh, I'm just trying to help out, man.
no,
I empathize, and I try to put myself in other people's shoes, and if this happened in my community, I would wish for help from anyone that could. So.
Well, hats off to you. Kudos to you guys.
No worries, man. I'm glad to help. Thank you so much, man, and I appreciate the interview. Thank
Take care.
you. Awesome. Thank you so much. I'm out here in North Carolina, and just talking to this gentleman. What's that?
Glenn McGurk.
Glenn, I'm Josh Butterfield. Good to meet you, bud. Good to meet you. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate you taking the time here. I was just admiring your setup. You got a little self-sufficient setup. I'm real into self-sufficiency, and this is about as minimalistic as it gets. I love it. Did you build this yourself, or?
This is an order from 4-wheel campers.
Yes, sir.
Took a while to get, and I dumped all my money into it because I keep losing jobs.
Right.
So now I'm just hiking all the trails, losing a lot of weight. I was a big guy. Now I'm
Heck yeah.
pretty good.
Well, that's awesome, man. Do you care if I take a little peek in here?
Go for it.
Awesome. So it's all set up. He has a bed up there that rolls down. And I mean, it's just as minimalistic. Looks like you got a power bank there.
Yes, sir.
I'm sure those have kitchen goods in there. And all the goodies in there. Oh, yeah. Everything you need.
I am currently working on restoring a rental property that was damaged during the storm, so they let me stay there.
Okay.
So half my stuff is there. This would be a giant jigsaw puzzle, and it takes an hour to set up and set down. That's how much junk I have.
Wow.
But I'm good for anything. I was trapped on a mountain for about almost over a week, and I filtered my own water, plenty of food, I was having a ball.
So you said you were up there and you didn't even know how bad it was? You didn't have internet or anything? You just were kind of trapped where you were? Or?
I checked the weather before I headed up to the mountain, and it said the storm would fizzle out into a tropical storm. Not a problem.
Right.
There's a bunch of pockets up there where there's really no wind. Everything's sheltered, and I know them since I go up there all the time. So I parked there. Truck rocked a lot. I was like, this ain't normal. And the next day, there was a tree on top of a tree on top of a tree, and it was... I figure it would have taken me 6 months to cut my way out with my crappy little chainsaw. Wow. And I would have ran out of chain and bar oil by then.
Yeah.
So I was living it up, no internet, no clue what was going on, for like 7, 8 days. Then I got internet, and I was just watching the helicopters just fly over.
Wow.
Eventually they cut me out. I went to the rental property that I'm helping restore, and some guy came up looking for Knollwood Road, and I was like, oh, it's down there, and he told me about this place, so now I'm splitting my time half and half.
Wow, so you're working and donating and just doing all you can.
Well, beats doing nothing.
Yeah.
I can't be idle. I go nuts.
Yeah, well, that's a beautiful thing, man. I'm sure you've had to witness a lot, and I'm sorry you're having to go through all this, brother.
I didn't have to actually witness. I was on top of a mountain.
Right.
All the horrors were done with by the time I got out.
Wow.
So I'm just helping clean up.
Wow, that's a beautiful thing. I really appreciate all your work, man. You think there's anything anybody could do here to help? I mean, what do you think anybody that's seeing this could do to help? What would be the most beneficial thing, you think?
I have no idea.
Right.
We have a mountain of supplies over there. We just need people to deal with people, and no one wants to do that. People would rather get grimy and dirty than be a receptionist.
Right. Yeah. Well, everyone needs every spot needs filled. It's just a matter of trying to fill it. So, man, I know you're busy, so I'm going to let you get back to your time. But I really appreciate the time. Thank you very much, bud. Thank you. And I'm going to check out your truck one more on the side. I love the little Toyota, man. That's an awesome setup, man.
Yeah,
I really dig it.
I wish I would have known what I know now before I got this. I would have spent more money on the suspension.
Really?
Because I had to put cheater springs on this.
Right.
As soon as I loaded my gear, I just hit the bump stocks.
Right.
So, okay.
Maybe airbags? I don't know. That's yeah, right. Right. Well, awesome, man. I really appreciate your time. It was great talking to you, bud. Thank you very much. Appreciate you.